Konrad Kaletsch. An artist, designer, husband, father, outdoorsman, entrepreneur, consumer advocate, author, and lifetime New Yorker. Konrad is speaking to you about the 70s. Please help me welcome Konrad.
Thank you, Ed. Ah, the 70s. Muhammad Ali, Mark Spitz, Secretariat, Son of Sam, Guardian Angels, the New York Blackout, disco, Led Zeppelin. Not that 70s. So what 70s? Central Park, the Museum of Natural History, Zabars, private education, townhouses. Not the 70s either. So what 70s? Yours. Mr. Table Topics Master, SEC Rough Riders, and welcome guests. I'm going to talk to you about living a great 70s. I'm going to talk about a specific part of that, an essential ingredient called your independence, without which your 70s won't be great. The independence you have today is very different from what you'll have in your 70s. The environment, this cocoon that holds you now, will have to be different. And what you can do is to ready that for when you arrive. And there's two words that are essential today that will get you there. And those two words are universal design. Universal design is an approach to building whereby you do not discriminate against those with differing ages or physical limitations. So if a home was built that was universal design, it would be equally suitable for a child, for an adult, for an elder, and for someone who has a physical disability. But we don't build that way today. It's one size fits all. And that size, able-bodied adult. You ain't one of those? Too bad. So universal design. Those two words are a starting point, but they aren't going to get you out of the gate because there's something else that shows up, and that's called fear of aging. Ask me about fear of aging. I don't want to talk to you about it. I'm such a vital guy. I don't want to think about diminishing strength. I don't want to think about body parts failing, slowing down. So ask me, what am I doing for my 70s? Nothing. Mañana. But mañana isn't a winning formula. You're going to get to your 70s, and instead of living large, you're just going to try to keep your head above water. That's it. So there's another ingredient. You've got to begin to see your 70s in an empowering context. And there's a trick for getting there. Start imagining a recent adventuresome travel, an adventuresome vacation you took. There was a chunk of time, it was open, unplanned, undescribed. And you began to put it in. And after a little talking, a little research, you said, Costa Rica! And you're excited. Then you went online, you booked, you put your money down. Now your future was locked in. And did you walk into work like this the next day? No, you're like, Costa Rica, Costa Rica, Costa Rica. And that day after work, you went to Paragon, and you bought a scuba tank, and you bought a new fishing rod, and a bathing suit, and you were excited. You had a future worth living into. Well, your 70s is not any different. It's a different destination, that's all. So you start creating the vision. You fill in the blank. You start imagining, what does your life look like at 70? Am I in the city, the country? And I'm rich with wealth, rich with love, rich with spirit. What does it look like? You journal, you get a scrapbook, you start creating the world, the vision of your life at 70. And I ask you, unbridled creativity in this. No limitations. Nobody can tell you what not to put down. You go for it. Once that vision is complete, we got to get you to the present, though. And so to do that, we're going to take steps backwards towards the present, large increments at first and then smaller time segments. So let me do that for you. For me, Montana. Don't ask me why. Montana in my 70s. The Bitterroot Valley, the North Fork, a little bit past the town of Davis. Wide streets, cowboy hats, cowboy boots. My house has a beautiful trout river in front. My wife and I have a very joyous vibe. Guests love to be with us. It's rejuvenating. And they come from all over. We have a large community. Okay, that's my 70s. Okay, so to get there, let's go to 60. What does 60 look like? 60 is shovel ready. I've figured it out. I got my money. I got everything. I know where. I know when. I know how. I'm ready to hit the go button. Back to the 50. Back to age 50. Age 50, peak earning career. Kids are out of the house. I got a little extra money. My equity is growing. I have good savings. Now let's just go back to 45. What does 45 look like? 45, I'm still working into that career. Maybe I'm purchasing that equity that's going to increase in value. Now 1 year out. 1 year out, I'm finishing my research. I know what I'm going to create for my 70s. 6 months out, middle of the research, today. Well, it's easy. I'm going home and I'm going to Google universal design. All of a sudden, 70s is looking good. I can't wait to get there. I kind of want to pick it up. So if I asked you at the beginning, what does the 70s look like for you? What are you doing today that's going to make it great? You'd do the same thing. You'd be like, oh, I got an IRA. And maybe that's it. But now the 70s is large. It's going to be great. It's going to be ready for you when you get there. It's not one of diminishing opportunities. They're going to continue. And best of all, when you get there, you still get to be you. Mr. Taylor talks. Thanks very much. Cool.